They don't go back very far, but one of my favorite memories was traveling to the East Coast to be with my in-laws and Alan's family back there for the high holidays, and taking the kids and introducing them to the family and being involved with the family back there.
I remember being in synagogue on high holidays with my grandfather at an Orthodox shul, and the men all passing around the smelling salts as they got later into the day of fasting. And as a kid, that was really, I thought it was really cool to be able to sniff the smelling salts. And of course, the seders at my grandfather's house, you know, where we played all kinds of games with the Afikomen. So there were so many childhood memories of the family growing up in Baltimore in such a strong Jewish community.
I volunteered while the kids were in Hebrew school. I volunteered with Sisterhood, Beth David's Sisterhood, and actually wound up running the gift shop for a few years, and that was a lot of fun. I just felt that it was important to give something back to the synagogue and spend time. They needed help, and it was fun.
I was at a train party at the Shevlin's house, and the co-presidents of Hillel at the time were Alan and Judy Marco, and they're infectious with their enthusiasm, and they said, you know, you should come out and see Hillel, and maybe you would find it something that you'd want to get involved in. And as soon as I went to the first meeting and saw how enthusiastic the kids all were and all the energy that they had, I just couldn't resist, and that was it. I was hooked.
When my daughter was going to college, we tried to get her involved with Hillel, and she wasn't at all interested in joining any of the organizations and being a part of that group. But when she started University of New Mexico in Albuquerque, she wound up, after the first few months, being involved in Hillel and ultimately became the president of Hillel her senior year. That brought her back to Judaism.
And of course, Congregation Beth David has been very meaningful for us throughout our lives. We were married there, and our daughters were both bat mitzvah there. We've had Shiva services there. We've had baby namings there. And so definitely the synagogue has been a very important part of our lives. Well, my vision 20 years from now is that the Jewish community here has grown quite a bit from where it is today, and that the organizations in particular that we care about, Hillel, the Federation, Congregation Beth David, have all gotten stronger and grown in size. And the legacy gifts will begin to come in to supplement what is coming in from other donors, and I think that will create a very strong Jewish community in the future. I'm very proud of the way that, as my children have had their children, that Judaism has been a very important part of their life. They've gotten very involved in their synagogue, and they're taking leadership roles at the synagogue. And I see that same pattern that we had as we had children. And so I see them, you know, being leaders and hopefully carrying the banner after we're no longer here. It's just tougher for our kids to buy houses, and so will they be able to also support the Jewish organizations? And for that reason, that's why I'm so feeling so strongly that it's important for us to do legacy giving, because without that, I think that the Jewish future won't be as strong. I think it's up to our generations, where we were so fortunate financially, to carry the ball and make sure that future generations are provided for.
Also, I think with Hillel, involvement with the kids at Hillel has made it obvious to us, or we're more aware of the problems that they're having on the colleges, on the campuses with anti-Semitism, and they need funding to be able to fight that in an organized and practical way, so that they can get information about Judaism out there.
We've kind of gravitated to what the rabbis teach, which is give until it feels good, and it really does. I think the more involved we've gotten in philanthropy, the better we felt about it. And So our goal is to leave a legacy gift that's large enough to replenish and really in perpetuity continue the giving that we're doing now. And that's our goal, to do that. And if we're successful, then we feel we've done our part to make the Jewish community here in Silicon Valley strong for many, many years to come.